you have chronic health symptoms like joint pain, hip pain, IBS, migraines, chronic illness that lasts over a period of time, days, weeks, months, then this is the video for you. My name is Lori and I am a peace coach. I bring peace to empaths and highly sensitive women that are struggling with toxic relationships in their life and other health issues that arise from that stress in their lives. So let's get to it. Now, let me tell you a story about something that happened to me several years ago. I was beginning to think about retiring from teaching, and it was 2020, and it was the first chance that I was able to retire. I happened to fall into this category of teachers that could retire at an early age. And so, you know, it was 2020. I was teaching pre-K part-time and coaching the other half of the time. And, you know, teaching had been such a huge part of my identity. And so when I started considering this, I started to get foot pain, plantar fasciitis. And we were in lockdown, so I wasn't at school, but I really didn't put two and two together. But I have my book, I didn't bring it in here, but it's Louise Hay's book on, it's called Heal Your Body, sorry. And in that book, she lists all different kinds of ailments. She lists the cause of them, and she lists affirmations that you can say to help you heal those ailments. So when I looked at foot pain or plantar fasciitis, it was related to fear of stepping forward in life. So let me see if fear of the future. And so when I thought about that, I thought, gosh, you know, could it be this decision that I'm making to retire early is causing my foot pain? And so I did some work, a journaling technique that I teach, and several other, I did affirmations and things. And over a little bit of time, I was able to heal my foot completely. I don't have that pain anymore. So there are 3 different kinds of things that can cause these chronic symptoms in your life. They all have to do with stress, but it's repressed emotions and trauma. And then it could be stress like that's new from a job or a life change, relationship change or whatever. It could be negative thought processes that you have. I'm trying to adjust my phone. It's a little sideways. But all of these things can cause chronic symptoms. Now you might be thinking, well, what about genetics? Well, there are some theories that yes, although these conditions could be genetic, like a friend of mine has hip pain and that kind of runs in her family. They've had to do hip replacements and things. And then in my own family, it's been digestive issues. But one theory is that, you know, that's already a weak area in your life or in your body. And when you add stress on top of that, it causes that weakness to be more pronounced. You're turning on that genetic link to health issues by adding stress and trauma. And then, you know, like my foot, it could be just something that happens to come up. It's a stressful situation and it's not, you know, a lifelong situation. It's a short-term thing, but it was causing a very specific pain. So here's a quote by Louise that I wanted to share with you. It's in the book, Heal Your Body. It says, our consistent thinking patterns create our experience. Therefore, by changing our thinking patterns, we can change our experiences. So here's a few chronic symptoms that a lot of clients come to me with, or people that I see having chronic issues. Neck problems, like that's one of mine. I get neck tension that goes all the way down my head, down my neck, down my back, from spinal misalignment, and it's caused by, according to Louise Hay, refusing to see other sides. So could that be you if you're having neck pain? You're having trouble seeing other people's points of view. Number 2 is migraines. Migraines, according to Louise Hay, are caused by a dislike of being driven, having trouble with the flow of life. And then number 3, joint pain, is caused by a change in direction of life or ease of the flow of these changes. And then number 4, insomnia. That's really common, especially in women of the perimenopausal age or menopausal age. And according to Louise Hay, it's fear, not trusting, and guilt. So if you're struggling with insomnia, do you find yourself staying up at night worrying about things, having fear about, what's going on with your children, or a certain situation in your family life or at work? I know when I was teaching, I had several nights where I was worried about students at school, and I would be up all night thinking about what can I do to help this child. And of course, with my own children, that's, if I worry about them, then it could keep me up at night. Hip pain, and funnily enough, I had hip pain on the opposite side of where my foot pain was when I was making my transition from teaching to retiring and full-time coaching. And for hip pain, it says fear of going forward. So I have 10 of these for you. Number 6 is gas pains or bloating, and it's caused by gripping or fear. Then foot pain, I told you, was fear of the future and stepping forward. Number 8, fatigue. And fatigue is caused by resistance, boredom, or hating what you do in life. So if you're suffering with chronic fatigue, look at your life purpose and what it is you're doing with your life every day. Is that something that is not joyful for you? And then anxiety is another very common thing, especially in the last few years, but it's caused by not trusting the flow and process of life. So I notice for myself, whenever I'm feeling really anxious, it's like I need to make a decision right now, and I have to fix this right now. But, if I just wait a little bit and be a little patient, the answer usually comes to me. So, if you're feeling anxiety, then work on, trusting that God, Spirit, universe has your back, and they are watching out for you. Let's see, thyroid. Number 10 is thyroid. I never get to do what I want. When is it my turn? And I thought that was interesting because I have thyroid issues too. And I grew up with 2 brothers. I was the middle child of 2 brothers. And my dad, of course, was very involved with my brothers and their football games and their practices. And I had to be, at every practice, every game, because, I was a little kid and I had to come along with them. So I do remember there were a few things that I was allowed to do. I did dance, but I did it at school. And so it was while it was at daycare. And while I was at daycare, I went around the corner with my little class and we went to dance lessons. And then I took art lessons for a short period of time, and those were amazing and I loved it, but it ended for whatever reason. I can't remember why, but for years and years, I did everything for my brothers, you know, so just interesting. And here's a fun one. If you have gray hair, or you know somebody that has gray hair, or maybe you're graying over time, gray hair is caused by stress. Now, you can look back at past presidents from the beginning of their presidency to the end, and you can see the huge change in their hair. Barack Obama was really evident, because when he came into presidency, he had dark hair, and by the end, it was really white. So go back and check some of those pictures. It's really fascinating. So here's another quote by Louise Hay. It says, "The mental thought patterns that cause the most dis-ease in the body are criticism, anger, resentment, and guilt." So let me read that again. The mental thought patterns that cause the most dis-ease in the body, and she spells it D-I-S-EASE, in the body are criticism, anger, resentment, and guilt. So if you are to address those feelings whenever they pop up in your life, then you will be closer to healing your emotions and your physical health. So when you work on healing your body, you will see changes in your mental health. And when you work on your mental health, you will see changes in your physical health. It just works out that way. Just think of anybody that has gone on a really huge weight loss journey, or a, workout regimen where they've focused a lot of time on their workouts and what they eat and all those things. You'll notice that their emotional health starts to get better too. It improves. And the same when you are spending time every day on yourself, working on your emotional health, you start to feel more confident about yourself, better about yourself, and then that in turn makes you start treating your body better with healthier foods and, physical exercise. So if you want to really fast track your healing, work on both of those at the same time. And it doesn't have to be something really difficult, like a huge change in, your lifestyle. It could be just like, take 10 minutes to read something really inspiring, or, watch a YouTube video on something that you need to work on, like, if it's relationships that you're having difficulty with, or, your life purpose or whatever. Watch a 10-minute YouTube video that inspires you to make changes in those areas. Or, if you're wanting to improve your nutrition, drink more water, get more sleep at night, eat healthier foods, organic fruits and vegetables. It doesn't have to be where you're changing your whole lifestyle. You can just try to get one extra vegetable in every meal. So, that's what I do in my programs, my coaching, one-on-one coaching, and my coaching programs. I help women make those small, tiny changes every day. And, it's over a 12-week period of time. We work on increasing our emotional health while we're also working on our physical health. And together, you know, we can make a huge transformation, and you will keep going throughout the rest of your life. It's something that's a lifelong thing. You won't ever want to stop once you start feeling better. You're just going to keep going and going. So my job is just to inspire you to get started and give you those little tips and tricks that make it easy. So today I'm going to share with you an essential oil that I love to use along with my healing journey. I feel like essential oils are really good at helping just give you that little boost you need to start thinking about your mental and physical health. So the oil that I'm sharing this week is helichrysum. And if you don't know me, if you're new here, I use doTERRA essential oils. It's just my favorite one. I've done a lot of research on essential oils, and this is the one that I think is best for me and my family. If you're interested in finding out more, you can message me and I'll be happy to help you out. But helichrysum is really good for healing, and you can ask yourself these questions. I'm getting these from the book Essential Emotions. Let me show you. This, you can get it on Amazon or oillife.com. So ask these questions. What caused my hurt? What gift has this brought me? That's a really good question. So even though you may be going through a difficult time right now, what gift is it bringing to you? And then an affirmation that you can say is, I now surrender to healing. And then imagine yourself filled with light and healing. See support flowing into the body wherever it is needed. And so then there's a little section on helichrysum, and it has paragraphs, but I'm not going to read all that to you. But I'll just tell you some of the emotions that helichrysum helps with. It helps with intense emotional pain, anguish, or trauma. And it helps when you're feeling hopeless, despairing, or wounded. And the positive properties are it's healing, courageous, hopeful, transforming, persevering, and determined. So the ways you can use this essential oil are just inhale it from the bottle like this. Put a drop in your hand, rub it, and inhale it. You can put it in the diffuser. It works well with ginger, lime, Siberian fir, and peppermint. Those are a few that it works well with. So thanks so much for joining, and I hope it inspired you to start working on some of your negative thought processes, reducing stress in your life, and you know, just healing those repressed emotions and trauma. And if you need some support in that area, that's what I do. Consider working alongside me, and you know, we can heal together. So thanks so much for joining. Bye.